Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
The ACLU faces a setback while Liberty leaps forward in Santa Rosa County, Florida. I'm Matt Barber, Vice President of Liberty Counsel Action and Associate Dean with Liberty University School of Law, in today for Matt Staver. And joining me in studio is Deryl Edwards, President of Liberty Counsel Action and a Director with Liberty University School of Law. Well, folks, anyone who listens to Faith and Freedom regularly knows about the ongoing case in Santa Rosa County, Florida, with the school district there, wherein an ACLU-crafted consent decree was signed by attorneys representing the school district in Santa Rosa County, which essentially waives the First Amendment religious liberties of all faculty and staff throughout the Santa Rosa County School District. Well, a federal judge, Casey Rogers, has granted in part a preliminary injunction in favor of 24 Christian clients represented by Liberty Counsel, and has granted a request for a hearing on the remaining claims relative to this unconstitutional consent decree. Deryl, this is a tremendous victory. It's a tremendous move in the right direction. Certainly the case will continue, and there will be a trial eventually on the merits, but the ACLU has really overreached here, actually throughout this case seeking jail time for multiple employees at Pace High School and other areas of Santa Rosa County in the school district, merely for praying, and some of it even in their own private time away from school. So this is good news.
Yeah, what you had was a great overreaching, and I don't think the average person out there knows how far it went that would intrude into people's lives. It was almost as if political correctness was stalking people into their own homes or wherever. The way I understand it, if a student at all was in the vicinity of a teacher or anyone else, they couldn't pray no matter where they were. If they were out in the mall or anywhere, they were just being held under this same tight bond that the ACLU had tried to craft.
Well, that's exactly right. Teachers under this consent decree are not allowed to pray, bow their heads, or fold their hands to show agreement with anyone who does pray. Teachers and staff can't reply, and this one is one that gets me. They can't even reply to an email sent to a teacher or staff member from an outside parent if it refers to God or Scripture or says God bless. They have to either open up a new email and send it, or remove all of the offensive references to God or religion, or before they reply to the email. This is it's so unconstitutional, it really just shocks the conscience, but it is what we have come to expect from the ACLU, Deryl, and it's in keeping with the ACLU's very dubious history, a history that I addressed recently in an article that I wrote for the American Thinker and a number of other media sources, titled ACLU versus Religious Liberty. And I point out how, Deryl, the ACLU in their promotional materials, they say the ACLU is our nation's guardian of liberty, working daily in courts, legislatures, and communities to defend and preserve the individual rights and liberties that the Constitution and laws of the United States guarantee everyone in this country. In my piece, I contrasted that with ACLU founder Roger Baldwin, his candid vision of what he viewed for the ACLU and his goal for America. He said this, quote, "I am for socialism, disarmament, and ultimately for abolishing the state itself. I seek the social ownership of property, the abolition of the propertied class, and the sole control of those who produce wealth. Communism is the goal." Close quote. It's a far cry from the portrayal, the self-portrayal that the ACLU puts out there. You know, actions speak louder than words. Their actions are a lot more in keeping with Roger Baldwin's representation than their own propagandist doublespeak.
Exactly, and what this goes to show is, moreover, more than what the ACLU has done, it shows the importance of groups like Liberty Counsel who are out there combating them. Because imagine what it would be like if there were no such groups who stood against them, and they had free reign to put this anywhere they wanted around the country. It shows the importance of Liberty Counsel, shows the importance of Liberty University School of Law, which is training another generation to go out and take their place.
That's exactly right, and we must. And we are so proud, I know I am, I know you are, of being a part of this training up champions for Christ. As the founder of Liberty University, Jerry Falwell, would often say, that's what we were doing, and we are preparing these constitutional defenders to go out and to take on this counter-constitutional American Civil Liberties Union on cases just like this case in Santa Rosa County, Florida. As progressives, they're nothing if not consistent. As they start to feel confident, and when with the election of President Obama, a like-minded secular socialist, and liberals controlling the reins of government throughout Congress and elsewhere, the ACLU really overreached with this case. They rush across that bridge too far in order to try to recreate an America in their own secular humanist, secular socialist self-image. That's what's happened here. Now, people always say, "Oh, you're dropping the C word, calling people communist." Well, based on their own writings and investigations that the United States Congress has done in the past, the ACLU unequivocally are communist sympathizers, and a shared objective between communism specifically, or generally, and the ACLU specifically, is the suppression of religious liberty, particularly the free exercise of Christianity. I want to read a quick quote from Karl Marx, who was the high priest of the ACLU's beloved cult of communism. He once said, quote, "The first requisite for the happiness of the people is the abolition of religion." Now let's listen to a sanitized version of that. Even the ACLU today, on their website, their own promotional materials, overtly, they're not going to come out and say it as directly as Karl Marx did, but they advocate blatantly religious discrimination. They say, quote, "The message of the Establishment Clause is that religious activities must be treated differently from other activities to ensure against governmental support for religion." That is utter hokum. That is just absurd. But that is the ACLU's primary goal in life, is to undermine the Free Exercise Clause, to undermine the First Amendment, and to try to squelch and quash to the degree that they can religious liberty in this country. We're not going to let them get away with it.
Yeah, they've never strayed very far from their roots, and if you go back and check into that, you'll see a trace down all the way through. As you quoted Marx, I believe it was Marx that wrote, "Religion is the opiate of the masses," and they still practice and believe that. That's why there's something inherently wrong, they believe, with people who practice their religious beliefs and their faith, and they think it's something that needs to be corrected and squelched.
Well, that's exactly right. And the founding fathers, the Establishment Clause portion of the First Amendment is only 10 words. And it says simply, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. And that has come to, and it says Congress. And I often like to break that down. What do they mean by that? Well, they meant Congress, the United States Congress. They said what they meant. But somehow that's come to mean state government, local government, municipal government, your third grade teacher. That is simply not the case. What the Establishment Clause meant exactly what it said, and what the Establishment Clause intended. Thomas Jefferson wrote in a letter to Benjamin Rush. He detailed what the Establishment Clause intended. It was a prohibition against it was singularly intended to restrict Congress from affirmatively establishing through federal legislation a national Christian denomination similar to the Anglican Church in England.
Well, and it's all the more reason that we need to have people join us and support Liberty Counsel, support Liberty University School of Law, determine that there are people out there fighting on the front lines for you. And just pay attention, visit the websites, go and support them, because we need more people like that that are being trained to get out and face the ACLU and meet them in battle by battle.
Well, that's exactly right, and we're only able to do it based on the generosity of people like you listening right now. Liberty Counsel, everything we do is pro bono. We are defending these people in Santa Rosa County, defending their guaranteed First Amendment liberties pro bono, and we can only do it with your help. To find out more about Liberty Counsel, about how you can become part of our mission, how you can help us combat groups like the American Civil Liberties Union that seek to take away your religious liberties, go to lc.org or give us a call at 1-800-671-1776. Folks, together we can have victory. We can take back this country. We can revisit and reestablish the original vision of our founding fathers, a nation built upon the principles of Christianity. Go to lc.org.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.